Guys, welcome, week 22 of Dine at Home. I'm going to lose count of that pretty soon because I can't believe we're week 22 of Dine at Home. Absolutely amazing. So welcome guys to your cook along video. Your bread this week is a beautiful milk bread, so just come back to the milk bread for this week, and obviously as always some lovely Marmite butter. As always guys, keep this out room temperature when your box arrives, and like obviously normal butter, and for your milk bread straight in the oven at 180 degrees for 5 minutes. You'll see the outside will actually will crispen up really nicely, and the inside will obviously be nice and toasty warm. So that is your milk bread and Marmite butter. Onto your starter, an absolute delicious starter this week. So you have a lamb dashi, or for all the meat eaters out there, you have a lamb dashi. So it's a sort of an Asian style stock that we basically infused with roasted lamb bones. It's absolutely delicious. Quite a delicate sort of lamb flavour, so it's not really like a lamb sauce, but it is a delicious flavour nonetheless. In there is some Jerusalem artichoke slices that have been lightly pickled to cut through the richness and the fattiness of this dish. Beautiful Jerusalem artichoke puree, which is basically almost bernoisetted to like a brown butter in the bottom of the pan. Added some beautiful Jerusalem artichokes to it, caramelised those off. Nice little bit of veg stock in there as well, and blended that together. A delicious coriander oil as well, nice and vibrant, never shy on that. And obviously the main attraction, which is your beautiful tortellini, which is a shoulder, braised shoulder of lamb. It's obviously a tortellini that's become our favourite almost here on Dine at Home. So those who haven't done the tortellini or ravioli before with us, really simple, 3 to 4 minutes in light simmering water. Make sure it's simmering, because if it's boiling it will start knocking the ravioli around or the tortellini around and may start to tear or break. So please, just nice simmering water. With your dashi, bring that up. I always say it's normally served in around 80 to 90 degrees, so don't boil it please, just bring it up as soon as it starts to sort of steam, take it off, that's plenty hot enough. Artichoke puree in the microwave, room temp. So join me in 3 minutes, I can show you, I'm going to drop it in the water now. In 3 minutes, join me and I will plate it with you guys, okay? Okay guys, so it has been 3 minutes, okay? So my lamb dashi has just started to cook, so you can see the steam coming off there. Hasn't boiled at all, it's just literally beautifully heated up. And I'm going to get my tortellini now. Just pop that, simmering away for just over 3 minutes. You can see the pasta's expanded. So again, if that was to happen on when it was rolling, when it was rolling, boiling, it would knock it around, spit it and everything. So yeah, just make sure your water is just simmering, because this is super delicate. Pasta is super delicate, especially when it's fresh like this. Okay, so extra virgin olive oil. This is again, people who have returned, you'll know I always do this, and I really highly recommend it. I know we've got coriander oil, but this adds a little bit of richness and luxuriousness to it. So a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on there as well. Try and get a nice quality one. It goes a million miles. If you don't want extra virgin olive oil, melted butter is absolutely fine as well. Nice sprinkling of Malton sea salt in there. Always use rock salt, or I'll say sea salt. It's a lot softer and a lot more enjoyable on the palate. Artichoke puree is obviously being heated in the microwave for all of 30 seconds to make sure that's nice and warm. Just getting a nice clean spoon. I've got a little jug on the side as well for my dashi, so I'm going to be pouring that in as well. If you see any sort of, it's not so much sediment, if you see a little bit of sort of, well, it is sediment essentially in the dashi, all it is seaweed. Okay, so it's a bit of the seaweed stuff. We drain it through a fine chinois and some J-cup. Sometimes the actual sediment can seep through. So if you see anything sedimenty in the bottom of your dashi, all it is just some wafer thin bits of seaweed. That's all it is. There's nothing to worry about at all. Okay, so give your Jerusalem artichoke puree a little spoon. Super rich, so a nice little spoon straight in the middle. This pot's obviously for 2 people. And what I would do, again, this is completely personal, and you can do this however you like. You'll have, I think, 6 Jerusalem artichoke pickles in here. What I'm going to do is, because I don't want to take it away from the actual tortellini, I'm going to put those on top of my Jerusalem artichoke puree. Just so when I break through the dish, there's going to be that sort of acidity at the bottom. I'm going to show this to you as well. So again, you get 6. So there we are. See that? So I've just put a layer of them on top. Looks pretty cool, right? Okay, cool. So that's that. And then, very carefully, with your tortellini, all nicely seasoned, I'm actually going to pop that almost on the side of it. So I'm going to put it straight on top. I'm just going to put it on the side. So it's sort of resting a little bit on the side there. Okay, perfect. And then with the dashi, beautifully pour it on the side. I always give you loads of, actually, it's a super rich stock. You don't need loads of it, okay? That is for one person. I've got still some in the jug and I've got still some in the pan. So yeah, I'll probably give you loads, but it will keep. So if you want it for the next day or whatever, it will keep really well. You can also cook things in it, so you can use it as actual cooking stock. Absolutely delicious. Coriander oil, don't be shy with that because you need that flavour, sort of hitting into it. Nice contrast, beautiful colour, lovely dots. And there we are, guys. Your beautiful lamb shoulder tortellini with roasted lamb dashi, Jerusalem artichoke puree, Jerusalem artichoke pickles underneath, and then your beautiful coriander oil to split it all again. And that is your starter. So hopefully you enjoy. Join me for the braised rib of beef next, and I'll see you in about 5-6 minutes. Okay guys, so hopefully you enjoyed your starter. Onto your main course, probably my favourite cut of beef we do here at Dine Home. A beautiful beef short rib that we brine for 4 days and then cook it for 2. So yeah, you're welcome on how many days it takes to actually prep this. But we take all the hard work out, so you obviously get to enjoy it. So some of you guys may have sort of a flat piece like this, a bit more rectangular or squared, sorry, and others may have a nice rectangular piece like this. This has got quite a bit of fat in this left-hand side, so I chose to use that for us. Obviously, you only get one piece each. I'm just showing you the different pieces. Apologies about the other, it goes off on mine every now and again. So, but also some of you might have a rolled piece, like we do with the rolled shoulder of lamb or venison. The reason being is because inside those ribs are some beautiful thick pieces of meat, which essentially it's almost worked a little bit harder. It's delicious. I'm not going to say it's more delicious. It is. It's not going to say it's more delicious, but if you do get that, don't do the roasting process, because obviously we've rolled that, so all you need to do with that is pop it onto your tray, little nut butter on top, and then roast it through the oven. But if you do have these pieces, you will obviously do exactly what I'm going to tell you now, hopefully. So in your container you'll have some beautiful little graillotte onions that have been cooked in beef fat and balsamic vinegar. The smell of those are absolutely delicious. You'll also have, this is all for a pot for one, so you'll have 2 graillottes each. You'll also have a beautiful pot of sort of roasted hash potatoes that have been beautifully caramelised by Michael himself, buttery sweet corn puree, roasted toasted sweet corn, and also you have a really rich beef sauce as well. That's for 2 people, so I'll halve that. So come over here guys and I will show you how to reheat it all. Those 2 are done in the microwave. You can do that in a pan with a little knob of butter, the sweet corn if you would like to, maybe to check the seasoning on it as well, but alternatively you can put a little knob of butter and put it into the microwave. But we will do the onions, the potatoes, and more importantly the beef, all in one pan, same pan, 1 pan wonder, and I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so pan on, nice and hot. I always say medium to high heat. The reason why I say that is simply because we need to make sure that we get that heat in. Vegetable oil or sunflower oil is a light oil, we don't want anything too strong. While doing these dining in homes, I know there's a lot of people cooking either with extra virgin olive oil or olive oil. You can cook with olive oil and extra virgin olive oil. 2 reasons why I wouldn't is because extra virgin olive oil especially has got a really unique strong flavour and it can burn in the pan, and same with olive oil, it's got a little bit more of a flavour, and more importantly it doesn't take it to the highest of heats. Sunflower oil and vegetable oil does, so just a little tip there. I'm going to choose the more fatty piece because I know me and Mikey would like to prefer to eat the fatty piece. You don't get this without eating things like this, alright? So, straight in the pan. Obviously it's got 4 sides, so make sure you do all the 4 sides. Not too strong at all, just literally about 15 to 20 seconds a side. And I'll probably do 2 to 3 sides, that's when I'll throw in the rest of the garnish, guys, with a bit of butter, get it all working, nice bit of seasoning into the oven. You can transfer to a tray if you would like to, or if your pan isn't oven ready, but alternatively just leave it in the pan and it will cook a little bit quicker as well in there as well. So that's all you want, nice little bit of caramelisation on that side. Don't go too heavy, you just need it. We just want to add a little bit of crispiness to it. We don't want to like sort of, you know, excuse my French, we don't want to fuck it up, you know what I mean? We just want a nice little bit of flavour, nice little bit of seasoning, nice bit of colour, and that's it. Okay, same with that, beautiful. And then that one side, you'll see the fat caramelised up quite nicely in there. That's my 3rd side. So now I'm going to pop in my beautiful roasted hash, which has been already beautifully caramelised, but obviously in the fridge it's kind of a little bit soft. And then your graillotte onions in there as well. I'm going to knock my pan down, it's got more than enough heat in there. I stay in control of the panel at all times. Turn it over, the other side as well. I don't add any colour onto this. To be fair, it's not just to add a bit of colour, I just don't want it to, I just want to make sure I get as much of that sort of beefy flavour from the beef itself onto these onions, onto these potatoes as well. So with the final side, so I've done all 4 corners. I'm going to put it back onto that back side there, so that roasts up a little bit more. I'm going to pop a little bit of butter in there, just a touch, as you always know. And then finally, I'm going to add a little bit of Morden sea salt, more so to the potatoes and the onions, but a little bit on the beef as well. A little bit of pepper, it's optional, just because I absolutely love pepper. That's there as well, just make sure, check everything. The red onions are just starting to cook up nicely. Toss all those in the butter. It's a little bit wonky, so I'm just going to make sure that that beef is nice and caramelised. That's beautifully caramelised. Okay, cool. So all that in, you can transfer to a tray if you'd like to. Alternatively, leave it in the pan, pop it in the oven, 180 degrees, and it'll take in around at home probably 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to do it for 6 because it's quite strong on it. So I'll see you in 6 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to heat my sauce. I'm going to heat the sweet corn puree and sweet corn in the microwave, and then drop it in, ready to plate. 2 and 6. Okay guys, so the 6-minute timer has literally just gone up in the oven. So I'm going to grab the tray, the pan now. Beautiful. About 2 minutes before this was due to go off, I literally heated up both my sweet corns in the, I chose the microwave. Again, you can do the roasted corn in the, so you can put the corn through a pan, a little bit of butter. I literally just put a little bit of another butter in there, it's creamy, and obviously my puree's in there as well, beautiful. And there is your beautiful roasted potatoes or hash, grilled onions, and then your beef as well. Your beef should be sort of almost crispy on the outside, or a little bit crispy on the outside, and essentially sort of the night before just sort of break away what it needs to be. My sauce on as well there. So I'm going to begin to plate, guys. A lot of this plate work is obviously from the pan. If you would like to drain off some of that fat and butter, put that into a tray, absolutely fine. Me being me, I quite like all that fat and butter, so I'm going to leave it in there. With this sweet corn puree, there's quite a bit of butter that's gone into this, to my butter. So you can put, if it's a little bit thick or it looks a little bit split, add a little bit of water in there, cold or hot, it won't massively dilute it. Mine's come back quite fine, but if you just split quite heavily, just pop a little bit of water in there and it'll come back quite easily, really quickly as well, to be fair. So I'm going to put my sweet corn puree on like that, and I'm going to mix my my caramelised roasted sweet corn. I'm just going to pop that on top of it. It's a nice little textural balance there, and then your beautiful ribbed beef on the side there as well, with your hash. Texture wise, he's going to crisp straight back up again. I love it when these have the skin on, because I think the skin is just like, adds so much to it. And you've got the beautiful red onions as well, they've got a nice bit of colour on. Put those either side, and as always, grab your sauce from the stove, nice and hot. Smells so tasty. And then the sauce, always saucy protein, and a little bit of beef garnish. Still got a bit of sauce left there, and I'll bring that to you. You'll enjoy that one for sure. Braised rib, 6-day braised rib, grilled up to cooked in balsamic and obviously beef fat, sweet corn puree, roasted sweet corn, and then your potato hash on top. Very autumnal colours. But my God, the flavour is absolutely delicious with that, guys. Please enjoy and join me again in 10-15 minutes for the dessert. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed the main course. Me and Mikey absolutely nailed that. We thought it was absolutely delicious. Sweet corn worked really well with the beef. So on to your dessert, final course of tonight. You have a beautiful chocolate brownie. I know it's a little bit sort of common, as you could say, but honestly this chocolate brownie is absolutely delicious. I'm just going to turn that oven off, okay? It's really ready. Okay, so chocolate brownie, nice and gooey in the centre. This is at room temperature. I would highly recommend popping it. You can put it in the same container. I'd highly recommend popping it into the oven 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, so it softens it beautifully. There's even more gooey in the centre. For the benefit of this video, I'm just going to plate it up right away. It's at room temperature, so it's nice and soft, nice and sticky. So I'm just going to pop that. I would personally build this dessert upwards. So like when you go through, you almost get every single flavour. You've got a beautiful caramel sauce, salted caramel, and you have a passion fruit gel. That's super acidic, guys, just to cut through the richness of the caramel and the ice cream. So don't go wild on that. Like honestly, it's super strong. I've put my caramel sauce just on the stove here. Again, just put it in the microwave for ease. I'm just putting that on the stove just for ease for us. So if I was you, I'd build it in your passion fruit puree on the bottom. In fact, I put quite a bit on there. I'm going to go a little bit less because honestly, it is it's super sharp, and you just want to taste it. You don't want it to completely overpower the whole entire dish. You'll have your little plushies, as Mikey calls them, of ice cream in your container. Make sure you pull your ice cream out at a decent time, so obviously you're not serving some rock solid ice cream. I'm just going to put it out right straight out of the churn. Pop that on top. And the reason I put it on top of the passion fruit is simply because when you go through and eat the whole dish, you want to make sure you get all those flavours in one, as I did say at the start. Here's my really nice hot caramel sauce. Give that a good stir. You can pop it into a jug if you would like to, but I would very simply, I'll pop that on there for you, I'd very simply just pour that on top of the ice cream so you get a beautiful sort of contrast. Look at that. And there we are, guys, that is your dessert. Beautiful, rich, indulgent, sickly chocolate brownie with your passion fruit gel, milk, Jersey milk ice cream, and then your caramel sauce, salted caramel sauce to finish it all off. Guys, thank you so much for purchasing the box this week. I really hope you enjoyed the menu. Obviously finish up with your fudge, a little bit of salt, that's all you need for your tea and coffee. Thank you so much, guys. Same place, same time, next week. Have a fantastic week, and yeah, thank you very much for supporting Dine. See you soon.